better than having a life. No, it's too comfortable. It's totally comfortable. They have everything they need. She can do any addiction she wants. Her dad doesn't bother her really that much. I don't even think they're sexual. So she just like, it's just a shtick or whatever. But whether they are or not, she doesn't really care. But the problem is he's robbing her of a life. Sitting in a hotel room in an RV with your father for 50 years is not a life.
Joy, so Grace said that basically your channel is just a cheap knockoff of Thorp TV.
That's funny.
Okay, hold on. Do you want me to play a little clip here so you can see it? And then we'll
cheap knockoff of Thorp TV.
Your channel is basically copying hers. He's like, but not as good.
I don't think our channel has anything to do like it with theirs. Except for that we lived in hotels, but we don't even live in hotels anymore. I travel. So our channel is like nothing. We're not ancestral around here. I don't live with my dad. I live with my husband. I mean, and I work for a living. I don't really know how I'm anything like Grace Thorp other than that I had a messed up dad and an eating disorder. That's about our similarities. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to hit the play now, okay? So so that way you can watch it. Got it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't give a fuck.
I got 1%.
He's like a beached whale or not.
Oh,
he always.
Is live. She actually is live.
Can he like at least sit up and not just be like?
Fuck, she's going live an hour earlier than she was supposed to.
No.
Go ahead, finish your point though. Hold on, we'll go check it out.
I gotta see her eating.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, you know, this is an interesting example because I think a lot.
I mean, when he sits back there, he's so it's so irritating to me because when you lay down, it's such a lazy way to talk too. So like, it's just like
a lot of issues.
Like he literally ruins her blog. It's like on so many levels. Like he could at least sit up.
And you're like.
I know he sometimes sits up. I know sometimes they were sitting next to each other, or sometimes they're RV together. But like when he does this thing on the bed,
you continue laughing.
Remember Derek Fraser on Big Brother?
You're not.
Yeah, that's what he reminds me of. Derek Fraser on Big Brother, where he's like a beach whale, just doesn't do nothing, didn't get off the couch. But like, and I think she is bulimic, definitely. I would say Grace Thorp is bulimic, 100%.
Okay, now what are the signs that make you think that she's bulimic?
The fact that I heard her talk about food one day, and when food, like when you explain food and like where it's like just like it's the best thing in the planet. Like if I were to think about like a milkshake when I'm bulimic, oh, like it's food porn. That's how she was describing this restaurant she went in, and she was looking at all the buns and things, and oh my god, it's talking about everyone that she'd had. And I was like, the fact that she'd even tried all those, this was several weeks ago. I think I was in New York, maybe even. I don't even know, or somewhere. Richard had shown me a tiny clip. Someone had shown it. And she was going into like a store and talking, and that's when I started to get a little tinge, but then I didn't think about it. And then someone was showing me the sandwich and then talking about that she went in like Cracker Barrel or something, I don't know. But then what really clued me in is it's not the eating of the food. It's the relationship with her father. And like, I just see the similarities. I'm like, and that's why she's there. No, but listen, that's why she's there. This is the sickness. She's with her father because her father allows her to be bulimic, whether he knows or not, he allows it. I'm saying she's allowed to do it. But whether she's hiding it and she's able to, but she's able to do it with her father. And someone who's got a very deep bulimia addiction like her and like I did, just having a safe place to be able to eat and vomit is like happiness. Do you know what I'm saying? You don't care. So that's why she doesn't care if she's in a hotel room or in an RV with her father. If she has food and a toilet basically to vomit, she's good. And her cigarettes and alcohol. And that's how I used to be. I didn't do the cigarettes, but I did all the other things. I did the food and the alcohol and hung out with my father constantly. And it was so connected that like my dad was very anti my bulimia. I don't know if her father knows or not. I mean, my dad acted like I was freaking nature. So I was not allowed to do bulimia around my dad. So I got kicked out of my dad's house. But if her dad allows it, then that's just the perfect scenario of like, oh, you're allowed to do, like whether he's allowing it by not acting on it. Does that make sense? My parents did not allow it. They were like, kick me out of the house if you're vomiting. But she's either doing it behind his back, but where she's able to, or in his presence where he knows, but probably behind his back. But anyways, that for a bulimic and an alcoholic and a nicotine addict, you got your three addictions. She said she doesn't need anything else, but the sad thing is those addictions and the comfort of just hanging with her father is going to really take away any hope of a life for her, unless she wants her life to be eating food, smoking cigarettes, drinking, and sitting in an RV in a hotel with your father for 100 years. I mean, if that's what she seriously wants, then I'm like, girl, then I don't know, like more power to you. But I don't think anyone would want that long term. I mean, it just, but the problem is it's so comfortable. She's got the money, she's got her addictions, and she's got her father, which is like, most people want to hang out with their parents. You know what I mean? If they get along with their parents. You know, I got along with my dad, so I loved hanging out with my dad. I used to look up to my dad. I thought he was a genius, you know, until I got older and realized he was a moron. But she hasn't realized that yet. She thinks her dad's a genius, and she hasn't realized he's a moron. Grace is way smarter than that turd that says,
reality.
We're going on a meta relapse arc.
Yeah, it's
there's
fascinating in some ways
and then
because
there's a meta loop going on.
She's doing this like rapping, which is like clearly like a kind of, I don't know, semi crazy. Like it looks crazy, right? It's you're just sitting there going like, I make some steam. I don't really care about Keem.
She does take a lot of breaks on her blogs. I know that. So if she does eat, she goes and says it's a cigarette break. That could be vomiting too. You never know.
That's a pretty long cigarette break that she takes.
I know. That's what I'm saying. She takes really long cigarette breaks, and I've never watched if she eats and leaves. I don't know that. I don't know. But you can go a long time without vomiting. I used to sometimes go like an hour before I vomited.
The other night when she was drinking with
you can
Laylo,
still vomit later.
The other night when she was drinking with Laylo, like she went for a smoke break and Laylo on there for like almost a half an hour, it seemed like.
Right, and that would sound like bulimia to me, because bulimics really lose track of time, because what happens is sometimes, either they have to go vomit what they ate, or they go try to eat some more and then still have to vomit after that. So you lose track because you're like, you go. Here's the deal. If you don't know with bulimia, what happens is you eat a lot because that helps you vomit. So, and also you're so hungry because you're always vomiting. So what happens is bulimics really lose track of time because they have to eat a lot of food in a small amount of time if someone is watching them. Like if they're like, oh, I have a time frame. But like they take longer than they think because they're like, that's long time in the bathroom. Like a half hours in the bathroom is a long time kind of thing. You know what?
They have to eat a lot of food because it's like, it's kind of like it's like a hose or a pipe. Like your body is just a vessel. And the more pressure you can put inside your body, the more it comes out. So that's why that's a huge
right. So like what a bulimic would often do, what she would do, not if she's a bulimic, is she would eat a certain amount on camera that seems appropriate. Then off camera, go eat a bunch of stuff and vomit it off camera. But it would have to be like, it would take a little bit. That's a bulimics lose track. They think it's a shorter amount of time. And then people are like, wow, you were gone for a long time. You know, you're like, oh, really? Like, I always thought would happen to me. And people are like, oh, where have you been? You're like, oh, really? You don't realize you were gone so long because the vomiting takes a while. And often you'll have to eat a little bit more to even be able to vomit. Like if you ate that hoagie sandwich, that'd be really difficult to vomit. So you have to go eat more to vomit. Isn't that weird? That's how it works. You have to eat more.
It's a really interesting observation that you're making because okay, it's kind of a joke that like there's a joke. I don't know what the joke is, that men do something when they have mommy issues and women who have daddy issues get
right. That's the daddy issue thing is what's triggering to me to even more be like she has an eating disorder, because the way she talks about food, the way she eats food, like the way she's just you can just tell is very like it's like sex to her. That's eating disorder. And the dad thing. Like the dad thing is just like the fact that she stays. It's like, I was like, why would she stay? Like, why would she hang out with this turd? Well, she's a gorgeous girl. She can leave. But then I'm like, she got an eating disorder. I was like, that's the perfect thing. Because when you have an eating disorder, you don't give a crap about like the future. you like that's the problem with the eating disorder is it's very, very all consuming. Like more